ladies and gentlemen, Ali Mehdaoui here in a brand new installment of the ME Studios and the ME Show. I am super excited and cannot hide it. I got a rock star, an incredible woman that absolutely has not only grit, energy, tenacity, but desire to do great, not only for herself, but for people all the way across the world. I've gotten to connect with her and meet her through a common project that we are working on together. But the thing that I admire about her is her desire to just take things to a whole new level. Now, she is an enthusiast when it comes to travel. She is an enthusiast when it comes to tennis. I mean, look, she said, and I quote, put me on a tennis court and it automatically just happens. It's like a cappella music, right? She's a foodie, but she's kind of picky on what she wants to eat, which is my kind of person, right? Look, normal is boring, and she's definitely the furthest thing from that. She was born in Jamaica, migrated into the United States. Like yours truly, I was born in Morocco and migrated into the United States with $50 in her pocket, got to New York, and New York made her who she's become. And now she's all over the country, traveling, speaking, and doing the greatest things that she can do. Whether she started an advertiser to a comptroller, whether she was taking care of people to now taking care of the masses, I am super fired up, super excited. Once and for all, ladies and gentlemen, with us in here, the one and only Lorna Sherland. All right. Virtual world, give a whole lot of love. Do me a favor. If you're driving, don't touch that phone. But if you're not driving, drop some emojis, some love for Lorna. What's up, Rockstar? How you doing today?
Hey, Ali. Oh my gosh, you have such great energy. Thank you so much for inviting me to come onto your platform and to speak with you and your audience. I'm super excited for this conversation, man.
Absolutely, man. First and foremost, I love it when I talk to an immigrant like myself because there's a different mindset. See, when somebody is born into an environment or to a religion or whatever the case may be, it's like they kind of take it for granted and it's just like it's just where you were, right? But we chose the environment, we chose the challenges, we chose the obstacles, we're like, I know I only have $50, but I'm gonna do it anyways, right? So let's start with the beginning, right? Tell me a little bit about the past of the great Lorna. What made you who you are and kind of morphed you into who you've become?
Yeah, great question. And you're going to bring back memories, but they're all good ones. So when I was leaving Jamaica, it was this idea that we all had in our country that says, oh, America, the land of the dream, right? The great American dream. Back then, there was this thing in our country that the government would not allow you to leave with more than $50 in U.S. currency.
Wow,
and
that's crazy.
My mom, yes, it was a law, and my mom, as stoic and straight laced as she was, that was it. You wasn't gonna hide any money. Some people were hiding more and taking it, but no, she was gonna do that. So I came with $50, and I came and stayed with a friend of hers that she arranged with for me to hang out there until I got my feet firmly on the ground on the American soil to figure out what was I gonna do. By the way, I left a really great job in the government printing office in Jamaica back then. I had just graduated high school and worked for the printing office in the accounting department back then. And not knowing what I was going to do when I got here, only with $50, I had to figure it out. Which, as I look back now, I'm seeing, wow, that's why I could figure stuff out. I could see things that people can't if nowadays, which people now pay me for. Going to that friend and it not working out. I had to leave the friend's house in 2 weeks because, if you're an immigrant and you come into this country and live with people who have been here for a while, you're not going to be there for free for long. You better go figure it out, find how you're going to make some money and give them half the money that you start earning, right? That's our culture. I don't know if it was like that for you from Morocco.
I love that. Yeah, no, I relate to that. Trust me when we came with sandal shorts and a t-shirt. So, welcome to America, baby. Figure it out. And that's probably what makes this land the land of opportunity. So you fast forward, what you went into New York, you said, correct?
Yep.
And then,
well, no, hold on. So here's the thing. I came into New York. Things weren't working out. I had to leave. Went to Florida. And then when I went to Florida, that's when I got my green card. And
Hmm.
that's when things kind of shifted because with the green card, you can do more, right?
Oh, I
After I
believe
left,
it. Yeah.
right? Other than that, you're not doing much without a green card. And so from getting the green card, coming back to New York, finding a job in advertising at the bottom of the totem pole in the advertising industry, I was a biller for years, learned that business and advertising from the operations standpoint. I ended up in 2000, when was 9/11? That's when I left corporate America because I stayed in that industry. I came here in 1985, went into the advertising industry 1986, 87, around there. And then I left when 9/11, a week before 9/11 was when I left Manhattan and never went back. So
Wow.
that's when I went into real
And
estate. Yeah.
first and foremost, you talk about 9/11. I was in Morocco in 9/11. My mother was in the United States in New York. So just a silence of communication. My wife was flying from Colombia onto the United, like that was her first day in America. 9/11. They had to land her flight in Atlanta. Emergency. Yeah, welcome to America. Yeah, I know. Okay, so where did the career path start to get developed?
Well, like I said, when I came back from Florida and I came in, I didn't want to go work. Most West Indians, they work in the healthcare industry, the home care industry. That wasn't me. Tried that, lasted a week. No, that's not for me. I knew that I had to go into corporate America, right? So I went into corporate America, went back to school, went into college. I actually started at Lehman College. I ended up with my degree from Marist College. So during that whole time, I was in the corporate world working, like I said, from billing, worked my way up through the advertising industry, in that corporate zone. And when I left, I was the controller at that specific advertising agency. One of the things that happened to me as I was going through that process, I had really good bosses. And I guess because of my work ethic, my last boss actually pulled me away from a really good company to come work with him because he knew, we do great things together. We find money, we help people make money. That's just what we did, right, as a team. And so when he got hired in the last company that I was at, when he got hired, he brought me over to support him with fixing what was going on in that company, until he left. And when he left, then I left. One of the things that helped me to leave was the fact that, you know, coming up in that kind of industry, you learn a lot of things. And one of the things that was very prevalent back then in the advertising industry, I don't know if it's still there, was racism. And for me, one of the things that I had to be a stand for in that industry was, listen, I'm from Jamaica. We don't have racism. We have classism. So
Yeah,
y'all don't come to me with that craziness.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Uh, and so this for me, it was a matter of, how can I make more money? I don't care how you look. How can you make more money, and how can I make more money? That's how I rolled through that whole time in corporate America. So so just being in that industry, in bosses that saw my potential and brought me along with them, that that's what got me to being from $15,000 a year when I started in that industry to six figures when I left.
Thank God.
So
Thank
um,
God.
you know, grateful, super grateful for all my
Congratulations
bosses.
on
And they
that.
were all
Yeah.
male, by the way.
Yeah. Say
I
that
never
again.
had I never had they were all male, never had a female boss.
Wow. Well, first of all, you're a boss yourself because it takes one to recognize one, right? Like you hear a lot the traditional world, right? A lot of people would complain about former bosses or whatever. And look, don't get me wrong, there are some people who just might not be fit to lead or to be in management roles, but you attract the people who are in your lives. Like I look back on my career, I don't think I've ever had bad bosses. When I mean, last time I had a traditional job, I was 22 years old. 39 now. So, but even back then, I attracted people who, yeah, maybe they were rough on me. Maybe they were little tough love, if you will. But I learned so much. One of my favorite guys in the whole entire world, Damian Woods, he abused me in the eyes of the masses. And I mean, I would come in, I was in the restaurant business, I would walk in at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't leave until 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. That's how thorough, like, and military, kind of behavior he was with me. But till this day, I use every single discipline and fundamental. I wake up as early as I wake up because of him. I schedule myself. I make sure like no notifications, no emails are unopened. Every single day. Like I have clean notifications on my phone, right? Like it's a pet peeve of mine. Every email is organized. I time block, like so. So I will always be grateful for him, even if the rest of the stuff is like, how do you pull up with that stuff? But anyways, let's go back to you, and I want to dive into the now. So there's a lot of exciting things that you have going on in your life, and you're creating for the marketplace. And super super grateful that you're giving us the opportunity to be part of your journey, and help as much as possible spread your message. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. Any projects that is exciting for our audience to hear about?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to share this. So coming through, I'm still selling real estate in New York, by the way. I
Nice.
figured out a way to be in Dallas, Texas, and sell real estate in my
I was
market
gonna
in
say you got to
upstate New
come out
York.
here because we're 45 minutes from the city. We're a train ride, so when you come up to New York, we are expecting you. Not
Yeah.
hoping, we're expecting you here. But go on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm still doing that and building out a business in the coaching, speaking, business strategist arena, just helping female entrepreneurs with, one of the things that it took me a minute to figure out is I could use all my experience in the real estate business for over 23 years, and
Mm.
I could use all the things I've learned and help coaches and speakers and service providers like realtors to build a business that will fund their life, a business that they love, not just a business that they grind in, right? I remember when I just started in real estate, man, I used to grind. And grind. When I say grind, I mean grind because I learned it
Hustle.
in corporate America.
Yeah.
Hustle. Yeah. Corporate America, 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 hour drive from upstate New York to Manhattan, stay until 10, jump in the car because they had to give us a car to go home back then, right? Jump in the car. And at my level, I got a car to take me home if I'm working over 10 o'clock. Get home at like 11:30, barely sleep for 2 minutes and then do it again the next day. So I learned that hustle, brought it into real estate. And now what I'm creating is an environment for women who have been successful, who just feel like there has to be more than just hustle and grind, right? Now you get to have grit and you get to thrive. Whole different conversation. Grind versus grit, right? Grind versus grit. There's a difference.
Hmm.
So when they come into my world, I'm going to teach them a couple of things that are going to shift their mindset around that so that their nervous system can relax a little bit so that they can start enjoying life, start traveling, start enjoying their families more, right? Start doing what they want to do as opposed to being in the rules that we've been taught or that their family is taught or that their culture has taught. And nothing wrong with any of that. This is just for the people who are ready to up level and shift into something new and different and vibrant, right? And just be who they came here to be, not who they think they should be for everybody else.
I
So I'm
love that.
super excited to be out. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think some of the reasons that women specifically, though they are successful in their entrepreneurial journey or their career, even if it's a traditional career, that area that you're focusing on, what are some of the things that they're struggling with that you identify as, I really got to create a solution and help these women overcome? Give us an idea from a relatability standpoint. What are we dealing with?
Absolutely. So I'll give you a super fresh idea. I was in a conversation yesterday with a woman who is, when I say this woman is amazing and powerful, but for her, she doesn't see herself that way, right? She doesn't understand who she is. And when I say who she is, I mean like how she shows up in the world, how people see her in the world, she has no clue of how she's seen in the world. And when you are not aware of who you are, you tend to shy back, you tend to not speak, and that's when people say, "Oh, you lose your voice." You tend to shrink, you tend to um be invisible, right? You don't speak up even though you have a passion for something. You don't say anything, you don't ask for support, you don't step into that power that you have. Well, sometimes you got to learn how to do that. And that's one of the biggest things we're going to teach. At the end of the day, it's all about your identity.
I
Who
was just
are
gonna
you?
say, it sounds like it's the identity part of it, especially you and I are connected on social, and I do this thing every single day where I write a note to my wife, on so just celebrating her. That's the first thing I do every single morning, since 2014, August 2014. Besides Sundays, a note to my wife goes up. You know, yesterday I paraphrasing, I don't even remember what, but I was like, hey, I just wanted you to know that I thank you for all the laundry baskets that you do and all the dishes that you wash and all the kids prep that you do and all my stuff that you prefer for me, and you are the COO of our company on top of that. Well, guess what? This guy just wakes up and his clothes are ready and the food is there, and he's like, okay, I'm going to work, and he just shows up and does what I'm doing with you right now. Granted, I'm grateful for the opportunities and the gifts that I have and the impact that I do in my own ways, but there are multiple identities or hats, if you will, that my wife wears. And I understand from the way you broke it down that there are women who are might not be able to kind of know what hat to put on and to put off and maintain her own essence. So is that kind of like what you're focused on, like
Yes.
finding yourself? Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yes, because most women, and y'all, I did it 40 years, I did it. Most women just identify with that one identity. Oh, I'm a wife, or oh, I'm mother, or oh, I'm the CEO. And then when they're in those specific roles, they actually resent the other role,
Oh
right?
man,
So how do you be you and be all the things that you choose to be to all the people around you, and still be in your own essence, right?
I
Still
love
be
that.
in your own power. Lose yourself in the midst of it, right? So identity is a huge piece of it, and it's the piece that keeps people down. It keeps things from moving. It slows them down in whatever they're creating, their goals, their dreams, their, how many executives or business owners that you'll hear say, "Oh, I can't do this until." Well, until when? When is the until? Right? So, but if you step into your identity, you can create whatever you want whenever you want. You can be all of those roles if that's what you're choosing to do, right?
100%.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be just one. You can be all of them, but you got to learn how to manage all of that and set the expectation. Because some people don't set the expectations because they're afraid of the, lack of a better word, repercussions of standing in their power. They don't want to
Yeah.
stand in their power because somebody else might not like it. Luckily, you're a good guy. So as your wife is moving through all the identities she's created for herself, you are aware of it, number one, right? Because you just shared exactly what's going on because you
Let me
see
tell
it.
you, she's 10 times better than me, just for the record. Like, because when I say this, right, like I got two groups of people in my life, right? Like, and I'm talking about acquaintances, friends, colleagues. You got the women who will tell their husband, aren't you like Ali writing a note for myself? And then you have the guys who give me this look. Really, dude? Look, don't be, first of all, fellas, don't be mad at me because I did my homework and you didn't. That is your responsibility. And
Exactly.
ladies, there's a book about marriage and that I recommend for every couple, and is blank. Don't compare your marriage to mine or anybody else's, right? Like, you got to write your own story. You got to write your own problems and your own
Yes.
solutions. Only you can find your
Yes.
happy place. And I think that also creates problems. You find in relationships or whether marital or else, sometimes we compare ourselves, or our 80% of good to the other 20% missing that somebody else may show us, not realizing that they may be 80% on lack. So just be grateful for
Absolutely.
what you have and who you are and who you have in your life. Yeah. No, that's
Let me
phenomenal. I
just
love
let me
that.
just share this with you.
Yeah, please.
As you're speaking, one of the things that's coming up for me to share with your audience is this, from just based on what you just said about the 80/20 and just being you. Miles Monroe, I don't know if you're familiar with Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe wrote a book called The Purpose of Being Single. And that book wasn't about being single by yourself in terms of, relationships. It was actually talking about how to be you. When I read that book, I was like, dude, this is not your bestseller, but it should be, right? How do you go into a relationship being single, whole, complete you, right? And being in a relationship with a man who is, if you're a woman, a man who is single, whole, and complete. I would recommend that book to everybody, because whether or not you're in a relationship, it teaches you how to be authentically you, which is at the end of the day, that's my mission. That's my goal. How do I get you to be authentic and create the life that you want, not the life that we've been told that we should have?
Love that.
Stop playing small. It's time to disrupt, thrive, and rise with Lorna Sherland. Meet Lorna, the connection queen, visionary strategist, powerhouse speaker, and Amazon #1 best-selling author. With over 23 years in real estate and business strategy, Lorna has helped countless ambitious women collapse 5-year goals into just 5 months. Founder of AccelerateHER presents Grit and Thrive event, a high-impact breakthrough event for women ready to rise. It's time to amplify your visibility, build strategic partnerships, and make more without sacrificing who you are. Lead with values, thrive with clarity, disrupt with grace. Grit and Thrive in-person event. Seats are limited. Claim your breakthrough today. Visit www.lornasherland.com.
You got an event coming up, and I would love if you can educate us a little bit about that event. What are we expecting? When is it? Where is it? And how can we get these tickets going?
Well, this is a process. This is the whole process of the big event is in June 26th to the 28th here in Dallas, Texas. It's a live in-person event, and I don't want to call it an event because it's an experience. Y'all, it's not going to be the same experience you go to Woman. Believe me, this is a breakthrough experience for real, for real. And so for you to get to that event, though, I want you to come experience me and some of my colleagues in a masterclass on April 30th at 5 p.m. Central Time. We're going to start the experience there. We're going to have a couple of my colleagues, like I said. We're going to walk you through many breakthroughs on your way to the June event, which is going to be when you come, you're not going to leave the same way you came. And here's the promise. After that experience, we're not going to leave you by yourself. We're going to hold your hand and hold you accountable to become who you said or who you created yourself to be from that experience. So I'm super excited about that.
Love that. And
I jump out of my seat every day.
No, but I gotta say, I love about your style, and from what I'm hearing, it's a lot of time when we hear an event, we think it's just a rah rah and let's go ahead and network. But it's more than that. It's more. There will be practical training, there will be mindset training, and there will be actual systematic ways for every woman that's going to attend to create a real breakthrough. Like, this is not a feel good, come to get motivated. And I appreciate that's the style of events. I'm a big advocate of having a practical processes, right? Like,
Yes.
nothing of what we do, business or else, matters unless it's going to create some type of end result, right? Like, and the desirable have to lead to certain deliverables. If I'm doing business with you just to feel good, that's not a viable business for me or for you, right? Like, but at the end of the day,
So,
we want to make sure that we're creating real deliverables and real breakthroughs. And I appreciate that you're doing that. And more of a reason that I genuinely believe in your process. When you shared with us the first time what you were trying to do, and you remember we were talking about just, hey, what do you think I should do? I'm like, look, while we can do all of this, I really just think
yeah.
the world needs to hear your voice. That's the missing piece, because you already have all the pieces in the right place. We just got to say, look here, and God willing, we're going to do that with it and for you as well. In terms of the event itself, who would you say is the ideal attendee for this event? Would you say already established women in the business community? Would you say,
Yes. Yeah.
okay, give me some details on.
So this is for the again, like you said, the established female business owner, female entrepreneur. You've already done six figures. You want to scale to the next level. Something is in your way and you're not even knowing how or what's in the way. This event is for you specifically. We're going to focus on six figures. I would say quantum leaping to the next level. When we get the things that are in your way out of your way, whether it's your mindset, your money mindset, or just your behavioral mindset, whatever it is that's in your way, sometimes it's a simple tweak. It's a simple blind spot that you just can't see. And you may have a coach, by the way. Let me just say that part. You may have a coach, but your coach cannot see it because they don't know what they're looking for. You get what I mean? So this
Look,
is
there's
going to
nothing
be
wrong with having
really
multiple coaches too.
absolutely, because you can't. That's why. What's his name? Tiger Woods, multiple coaches. Every high tennis player, multiple coaches. Messi, multiple coaches, right? So, this is for that high achiever. This is for high achieving women who are ready to up level and they want the support, they want the accountability, and most of all, they want the breakthrough. They're tired of being in the same position every year. More than likely hitting a income ceiling that they can't get past. That's usually the symptom. Income ceiling that you can't get past. There's a reason for that. So jump into the masterclass. Let's start getting you unlocked, and just set your intention that you're going to go through the entire experience and be there in the room at the June event. Here's the other thing too. There's specific kinds of women who are going to be in that room, and here's what I know that happens when you're in an environment like that. You just automatically meet the right people.
That's right. Being in the right place at the right time with the right people. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Stop playing small. It's time to disrupt, thrive, and rise with Lorna Sherland. Meet Lorna, the connection queen, visionary strategist, powerhouse speaker, and Amazon #1 best-selling author. With over 23 years in real estate and business strategy, Lorna has helped countless ambitious women collapse 5-year goals into just 5 months. Founder of AccelerateHER presents Grit and Thrive event, a high-impact breakthrough event for women ready to rise. It's time to amplify your visibility, build strategic partnerships, and make more without sacrificing who you are. Lead with values, thrive with clarity, disrupt with grace. Grit and Thrive in-person event. Seats are limited. Claim your breakthrough today. Visit www.lornasherland.com.
I love that. Okay,
super excited.
Let's get a little bit into the vision of things. Let me hear, selfishly speaking, what is Lorna's hopeful desire and goal for the remainder of this year? Like, why are you doing what you're doing? What makes you not go to sleep and get you to wake up as early as you can and say, I can't wait to do it all over again today? Talk to me about that vision of yours and the end result for 2025.
You're going to make me cry. Oh, well, okay. Hold on.
It wouldn't be, look, they say drama sells. So I got to make a little drama going on in here. No, but seriously though, we talked about mindset, we talked about everything else, but I want to hear your heart set now. Like, where's your heart set at?
Yeah. So for me, the event that I'm creating for June, it's a process, but for me, it's a mission, right? I'm in the space every day. I have conversations with these women every day, and I've been there as well, right? And how do I now create a space for people to really unlock and unleash? Because we are so much more powerful than we think we are as human beings. And how do you stay on that journey? The money will come. When you step into your power, the money will come, I promise you. right? Because everything is energy. So my mission is to impact these women who are going to come to these events this year. I want to hear them say, oh my God, if where have you been all my life? That's what I want to hear,
I love the sound
right?
of that.
Because when I hear that, I know that they're unleashed. Because when somebody can say that, that's on the other side of something, right? You can't say that if you're not on the other side of something. And when you come to these events this year, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get on the other side. And then my hope is that you then now impact other people with the breakthrough that you created for yourself in these events. That for me is ripple effect. So yeah, I'm selfish. I want the ripple
No, it's a
effect.
good look. Let me tell you, I got a good relationship with selfish. A lot of time we look at the word selfish as negative. I selfishly, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that my son is the best human being that he can be. Selfishly, I'm doing every single thing in my power to make sure that my daughter has the godly core values that she needs to have. I'm selfishly doing everything to become extremely wealthy so I can give it all away to many organizations that I'm involved with and, doing things all over the world. So it's okay to be selfish for the right reasons. The problem is if you are selfish for the wrong reasons, right? Like, and I think we have a barometer. Like you can tell good feeling, bad feeling usually tells you that's your check engine light. If this feels good, if this doesn't have any sense of guilt, if this doesn't have any sense of shame, like we know inside of us that inside job. And I genuinely believe and then look, ladies, and the folks that are out there that support the ladies that are gonna go to this event. If this means anything to you, I've done $2 billion of sales over the last 17, going on 18 years. I've been extremely blessed to build companies and businesses in 5 different continents. And this woman that you're hearing from right now is someone that I know for a fact has the right core values and morals. And that is more important than any coach or any trainer or anybody that can put a shiny object in front of you. See, when we talked the very first time, it wasn't, I want to be a millionaire. That was off camera. It was what you're hearing right here, right now. It was because I want to create impact. I want to help these women. I want to solve the challenges that I dealt with and I overcame. It was because I want to create something that is bigger than me, the impact. And I loved her sense of humility. I loved the sense of coachability. It was like, just tell me what to do and I will do it. Like, though she is already documented with 6-figure earnings per year and creating so much impact and working with billion-dollar companies, and she still says, I'm willing to learn. Now that is somebody that I would love to work with all day, every day. That would be the absolute most qualified mentor, coach, trainer, operator, strategic partner, you name what you need in your phase in your life right now. But Lorna is the one to mess with right now. And if you're not going on her event in June, man, you just wrote off 2025 as a loss. And I say it with love,
Yeah,
and I hope that
seriously.
this means something to you. So I'm very super excited to see what you're going to do. And I understand there are some giveaways on this event. There are 7-night, 8-day vacations to one of our 3,000
Yeah,
resorts. Yeah, talk to me about it. Let's talk
yes.
about it.
Let's talk about it, yo, because I'm excited about that too, right? Because as we're talking about identity and, the women who are doing all the things and not taking care of themselves, well, what would it look like for you to just go on a vacation, right? So for the first 25 people who sign up to the masterclass for April 30th, first 25 people, you are going to get a huge surprise in your email in the form of a vacation. What would that look like for you to just go away, take a week off, right? On me, right? What would that look like? Yeah. You got to do your airfare though. That's the one thing.
Yeah,
Let
so
me be
here's
clear.
I'll help out with that part. So
Yeah.
I'm extremely blessed to be familiar with the concept. So 7 night 8 day, and anywhere you want, all the way around the world. There's 3,000 resorts to choose from, and I'm talking about every continent has a destination for you. You can schedule it a year in advance, and in some cases up to 18 months from now. So here's what you cover: your taxes, your resort fees, and your flight. So what does that mean? You ever gone to a casino and they're like, hey, we're going to give you the hotel room for free if you stay in here, and you're like, oh my god, they're like, you just got to pay you that $25 or taxes. Same exact concept. No, there is no timeshare presentation. No, your data is
Yeah.
not going
I
to
was
be
just gonna
sold
say that.
anywhere.
No timeshare.
No,
Yep.
none of that garbage. We actually hate timeshares. That's what we do every single day. So definitely grab your 7 night 8 day trip. And just so you know, from a monetary value on a low season, it's worth $3,600 for those 7 night 8 days. On a peak season, it's worth $5,400. That's what's about to be comped for you. I don't know about you. If you don't show up for that vacation, something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Let's work. Let's work. Let's work.
Let
Let's
me
work.
just make sure
Yeah.
this is clear, Ali. So the 25 is for the first 25 is for the people who are
In the
upgrading to
mastermind.
VIP.
Yep.
Upgrade to VIP. So
There you go.
I just want to make that clarification.
Absolutely. And just so you know, if you're hearing us talk fast, it's because we're excited. Just check on the caption that's associated with this episode. There's the website, there's the details, everything that you need to know is right in there. But I really, really am excited to see your magic, your greatness. And Lorna, I gotta say, you got a friend in me. Obviously, God has a funny way to bring people together. And
I know, right?
for almost a week now, every glitch, every error, every wrong email, every missing, anything that could happen that forced an interaction back and forth, I think led for this comfort of a conversation, which I'm very, very grateful for and excited about. So thank you so much for doing this and giving us the opportunity. I look forward to collaborate, to work, to assist. And for those of you who are influencers, look, if you want to have a small part of this event, if you want to promote this event, make sure you holla at Lorna. I will make sure that all of her social media assets are in the caption as well. So connect with her. Hey, how can we collaborate? How can we work on this event together? How can I collaborate with you in the bigger picture? I'm sure she's got a thing for you. So as we're coming to an end,
Yes,
Lorna,
I do.
there is that one person usually that is listening and they have this mindset. Yeah, I know what you guys are saying. You guys are so happy and positive and optimistic, but you don't understand my situation, Lorna. What is your message to that one person?
Listen, oh my gosh. If you're sitting in that state today, here's what I can tell you, and I can tell you this from experience. If you just look at what's happening to you as something good is going to come out on the other side, and not look at it as oh, something bad is happening to me. Look at it. Listen, I always teach and train. There's no one-sided coin. So if you're experiencing something quote unquote bad right now, the other side has to be the opposite. Here's the thing. It's a law. It's not a if, and, or but. It's a law.
Facts.
So the other side, the light's coming. You just gotta be patient. The light's coming.
Spoken like a well-spoken entrepreneur, rock star, amazing human being. Well, look forward to seeing Lorna not only on this event in June, but she is very, very active on social. She is documented on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible.com, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and I can guarantee you there are many, many more publications, including Fox, ABC, CBS, CW, NBC, and many features. So this is a documented expert and speaker, trainer, and mentor, and a genuine human being that I cannot wait for you to connect with. With that, we love and appreciate you. And until next time, Lorna, in your Jamaican way and my Moroccan way, let's tell them peace out, everybody. See y'all later.
Go on good. Go on good. Go on good.
There you go. I love it.
Stop playing small. It's time to disrupt, thrive, and rise with Lorna Sherland. Meet Lorna, the connection queen, visionary strategist, powerhouse speaker, and Amazon #1 best-selling author. With over 23 years in real estate and business strategy, Lorna has helped countless ambitious women collapse 5-year goals into just 5 months. Founder of AccelerateHER presents Grit and Thrive event, a high-impact breakthrough event for women ready to rise. It's time to amplify your visibility, build strategic partnerships, and make more without sacrificing who you are. Lead with values, thrive with clarity, disrupt with grace. Grit and Thrive in-person event. Seats are limited. Claim your breakthrough today. Visit www.lornasherland.com.